So hello YouTube, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. It's Califax here and I'm back with another one. I really apologize for being a little bit absent, and the reason for that is because when it comes to the trading, my trading year, basically I'm pretty much done for the year, right? When it comes to trading, this year actually has been absolutely generous concerning my trading journey. So I'm basically done for the year. I'm actually much more focused on the mentorship, monitoring the students' progress and everything. So, it's just been, more time devoted to the students as well, right? So I just hope you guys had an incredible week. I had a nice week, I can say. I took a couple trades. I had a couple losses as well, but I was able to finish the week. I think it was on Thursday. I was able to get a nice one on New Zealand dollar. I'll actually do a breakdown of that one for the next weeks, and I'll upload here on YouTube. So no worries, a lot of content is coming right there for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys had an incredible week, and I hope you guys are also having an incredible end of year, right? So let's not take too much time. Let's start from Euro USD as we always do, and we're gonna look at it from the monthly time frame. So basically looking at the monthly time frame, it's very easy to see that overall the structure on the monthly is still bearish, right? We had a break, price came back, mitigated order block. We had a break of structure, price came back into this order block. So once price comes to my monthly, I like to drop down to weekly time frame, sometimes daily, but if weekly is clean, we can keep the weekly, right? So price comes into that monthly supply zone. We want to see the first sign of bearish intention, which is a change of character, right? So it's very important to understand that a change of character is not a confirmation of order flow shift that we have shifted from bullish to bearish. It's just the first sign, because sometimes price can do something like this, right? And break structure, and then you see that continuation to the upside. So this was basically like an inducement. Right, so it's always much better to wait for two breaks of structure, especially on lower time frames, right? Because if you wait two breaks of structures on the weekly, you won't trade for so long. So right here we have this weekly change of character. Now I have 2 points of interest. We have this one right here, which was basically the decisional push up before the sell that went on to take out the previous low, and we have this one right here at the extreme. Right, so there is a possibility that price may want to come all the way up, feeling this imbalance, and then we have that continuation to the downside. So as of now, price is still reacting at this second one. So this one actually is a weekly, but I refined the point of interest. The point of interest was actually very clear on the daily time frame. So this is the daily supply zone. So once price comes to my daily supply zone, we already know I like to wait for 4-hour change of character to the downside so I can start to look for sales. Right, so as price is still at the point of interest, first thing I want to see for long-term sales is a 4-hour change of character to the downside. Now, if we drop down, for example, to 4-hour, right, once price tapped that daily, we can still see, we can clearly see that the 4-hour structure is still bullish up to this point. We had that previous structure high, then we had a low right here, and then we have this structure high that was just made right here. So basically up to this point, we don't have that confirmation to look for long-term sales to the downside. We don't have a confirmation at all that the daily is still holding. That daily supply zone is still holding straight, because price can just shoot up to the upside, go to the extreme one, the extreme weekly supply zone above. But up to this point, I can see that, okay, we have a order block right here on the 4-hour, right? Now, as an intraday trader, for me to sell, of course, long term, I would love to see a 4-hour change of character to the downside. So I can just wait for price to do that, or wait for price to violate the order block, so then I can continue to buy up into that weekly supply zone. But as an intraday trader, when you have a 4-hour push to the upside, what I can do, for example, I can sell on the lower time frame, but I will need to see a M15 change of character to the downside right here, right, which will give me a sign that the 4-hour is ready to do a pullback. So if I have M15 change of character like this, I have the M15 point of interest, I can then wait for price to come back and I will wait for change of character, and I can sell all the way down. So basically the sell is just trying to sell price all the way to the 4-hour demand zone, and then we will see if this demand will hold and push to the upside, or it will eventually get violated and we have that 4-hour change of character, right? So this is just an optional way for those intraday traders that don't like to wait too much, are a little bit impatient, because I'm also impatient. So I like to take those opportunities on lower time frame, but this is just a very nice opportunity. So this is a 4-hour push to the upside. We're gonna wait for M15 change of character to the downside, which will give us a sign that 4 hours is ready to do a pullback towards its demand zone, and then we will see if that demand zone will hold and push to the upside, or if it will get violated, giving us a 4-hour change of character. Okay, simple as that. On the Euro USD, we're gonna have to wait for the price to show its cards before we take the trade. Right, so that's it for Euro USD. Let's move to the next pair. Aussie dollar, we're gonna start from the monthly time frame, just like we did on Euro USD, just to basically understand the overall higher time frame intention. I believe it's very clear that it's bearish, right? If you look here, we had the low, high, low, so this was a break. Price came back, did a mitigation, then boom, price to break of structure to the downside. Price came all the way up to this supply zone right here at the top, and now we're seeing this strong push to the downside. So our expectation is to see price continue to move, to push all the way down, taking out this monthly low just to maintain the overall bearish order flow from the monthly, right? So after we have that, we can drop down to the weekly time frame. We're going to understand what's going on within that monthly range, that monthly bearish range. So we look at the weekly, we see that we had a break, pull back, break, then price comes, sweeps the previous high, uses this high as inducement to come to the unmitigated supply zone, have a break, mitigation, break. Now price is mitigating this decisional supply zone that was responsible for taking out this low right here. So that's where price is. So if I drop down to the daily, we're able to see much clear, right, that we have this point of interest that price just got into. And we can see that once price came here, we can go to 4-hour time frame or even 1 hour, right? So let me drop down to 4-hour time frame, because I mean it was very clear. Let me just use the 1 hour. So price comes into the daily, so we can wait for hourly to shift from bullish to bearish, and this is exactly what happened. We had this high. This is a swing low, but this was the decisional low. So very important concept here. I actually talk a lot about this on the mentorship, about the swing structure and internal structure. So this was the swing low. This was the decisional low, responsible for finally taking out the previous high right here. This was the last down candle before the up move. That's why we had this change of character, mitigation, and then price went on to violate this swing low right here. So basically we can see we have two breaks of structures right here, confirmation of order flow shift on the hourly. Price is now reacting at this supply zone. So up to this point, we're gonna have to monitor the reaction at this zone. So I can drop down to M15. What I would love to see here for me to look for sales is an M15 change of character to the downside, right? So up to this point, we can see that the M15 is still relatively bullish. I would love to see a change of character right here. Price taking out this low, because this right here, as we can see, this was the decisional low that finally took out this previous high with a body break right here. So I'd love to see if price is going to give us a change of character down right here, taking out these lows, and then we can start to look for sales in the lower time frames. If not, price was most likely going to continue to push to the upside, because we have another daily supply zone somewhere above here, this one right here, right? So that's it for Aussie dollar. So let's look for the next pair. So GU, similarly to the other previous two pairs, we can start from the monthly time frame. I believe the monthly is very clear, the overall intention, because these pairs, EU, Aussie dollar, and GU, they actually have, as well as New Zealand dollar, right? They all have the same bias on the high time frame, which is bearish, right? So if you look here on GU, we have the break, mitigation, then we have this break right here, and price came to this beautiful supply zone right here. And soon it tapped and started to have this reaction. So we drop down to the daily time frame. We want to understand, okay, what's going on at this particular point on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame, right? So right here, price is at the weekly time frame. So we had this high, low, and then boom, boom, push to the upside, right? And then we had this low right here, but price came, violated this low, came into this demand zone. This could have been we can consider this to be a zone of reaction, right? Price comes and then starts to do the pullback, right? After he had taken this previous low right here. So basically we have the weekly change of character once price had tapped that monthly supply zone. Now price is one of the point of interest that I've been looking for, which is this one right here, this buy to sell wick right here, and this one above. So if I come to the daily, I believe will be much clearer to see. Price came into that zone, which is a daily supply zone right here. We have this last buys before the sell that finally took out that swing weekly low, and we have this one at the top. There is a possibility that price may want to come somewhere, you know, into this zone right here. So price comes to the daily. What do we look for? Hourly, right? We want to see hourly change of character, right? So up to this point, I mean, if I really look at what's going on, is that we had this push to the upside right here, right? And we have a ton of imbalances sitting below. So what I was looking for is to start to sell at least to somewhere into these zones right here. Maybe I will see if this overall demand zone right here was going to hold. But for that, we need to see the medium time frame shifting from bullish to bearish. So we can at least have that confirmation that this 4 hour / daily bullish structure is ready to have a pullback. So if I can drop down, for example, to M30 time frame, we can see that price actually gave us that, right? We had price came here, we had this low reluctancy, right? High reluctancy, break, then price gave a, you know, some sort of a pullback, right? We had a pullback here, then another break of structure. So price just came into this supply zone, and once it tapped here, we can see this bearish candle right here, which is a good reaction at this hourly zone. Now, if I come to M15, what I'll be waiting for is for M15 change of character. Since this is like a 1 hour structure and we have a beautiful, you know, high, low, and then high, I want to see if price is going to break below this previous structure low, so we can have the M15 change of character before we drop down to lower time frame and look for our confirmation entry, right? So as of now, I'm monitoring the reaction in this supply zone, waiting for M15 change of character, and then sell, right? So that's it for GU. The next pair. So the next pair is New Zealand dollar. I mean, beautiful pair. I mean, I really love this pair. Very nice price action overall. So if we look at what's going on the monthly time frame, similarly to EU, AU, and GU, we can see that the structure overall is bearish. We had a break, mitigation, break, mitigation, right? And then price is coming all the way down. So we expect price to take out this this monthly previous low and maintain the overall bearish of the floor. So we drop down to the weekly, right? So here we are on the weekly time frame, and what we can see basically is that the overall price action is very clear that it's bearish right here, and we can see that price actually came into this previous unmitigated supply zone, and then we start to have this push to the downside. So my expectation is to see price from these zones, from these mitigations, to come all the way down, taking out the weekly previous low as well as the monthly low, right? So we can drop down to the daily time frame. That's where price currently is at, right? So even looking from the daily time frame, it's very clear to see that overall, price action is bearish right here, right? So we had this break, mitigation, then another break. Price comes into this supply zone right here on the daily, very extreme supply zone. We can drop down to the hourly time frame to see that something quite interesting is going on right here. So if I quickly just bring price like this, we can see that we had this nice reaction right here at the daily. So price comes into our daily supply. We have this previous high, low, high. So then we have on the hourly change of character. Price respects the supply zone, break structure again. So we have two breaks of structures here. So price now currently is reacting at this zone. I don't know if price actually tapped into that order block right there, but there is a possibility that price can also use this high as inducement to come into this extreme, and then we have their continuation to the downside. So once price comes here, I'm going to drop down to M3 time frame and look for the confirmation entry. It could be a change of character, right? That's absolutely valid. If price comes here and you drop down to even M5, you can wait for M5 change of character and then sell all the way down. So if you sell On the lower time frame, you already have the overall intention of the high time frame that everything is bearish, so you want to align with the high time frame for high probability setups, right? So that's it for New Zealand dollar. Let's move to the next pair. So our next pair today is going to be USD Swiss franc. It's a pair that lately I've been looking into, due to, it's a very good pair to trade. I really like USD Swiss franc. It has a beautiful price action overall. So here we are on the monthly time frame. So just looking at the monthly, we can see how beautiful the price action has been on, USD Swiss franc. Very clear that we have a break, mitigation, break, mitigation, break, and price is doing its mitigation, right? So, I mean, on Swiss franc, price is currently reacting at the decisional zones that were responsible for finally taking out the previous low, right? Some people may say, okay, but I'm seeing a point of interest above. That's very, very correct. Price can decide to come all the way up, but sometimes price can just react at the decisionals and continue to push all the way down, right? So because if you look at the general idea behind the markets is that in order for price to come up, it just doesn't come up because it's an order block. I mean, it's deeper than that, because sometimes they need a lot of money. They need a lot of buyers to be able to push price up, right, into this supply zone and then sell all the way down. Right, so there is a possibility that they may just want to push price into this decisional and continue the move to the downside. As we're seeing right here, we're seeing a quite strong reaction here. So if I drop down, for example, to the daily time frame, that's all we need basically to look at. We will see that overall the price action is very clear right here. Is that price came into this unmitigated supply zone right here, ended up using these highs right here as inducement. So price came here, we can see that we had this high, low, high, then a change of character, a pullback. I believe this was a pullback above 50%, so it was like a premium, a pullback, and then we have a break of structure again. Now, up to this point, we have 2 points of interest, but at the same time, I really didn't like the first pullback because it didn't come into the zones that I was looking for, because I wanted to see price coming into this supply zone right here. So I'm still gonna keep an eye into this one, but as of now, I'm gonna look at the decisional zones that we have. As of now, from the daily, we have these supply zones right here that was responsible for taking out this previous low. Now, do I have to wait for price to come before I trade this pair? No, I can wait for on the 4 hour, for example. Let me drop down to 4 hour, or even the hourly time frame. I can wait for price to give me a change of character to the upside, so I can ride that bullish pullback into the supply zones above. But looking at it right now on the hourly, the structure is still bearish, so I need to be bearish for a while. And then if price gives me the bullish, break of structure to the upside, that's when I can start to look for buys, so I can ride the pullback. Right? So as of now, we need a lot of patience on USD Swiss franc. We need to allow price to give us that confirmation of pullback to the upside on the 4 hour, right? So that's it for USD Swiss franc. Let's go to the last pair. So our last pair is gold, right? Gold, I have mixed relationships with gold. I believe is because my previous trauma with gold, a couple of years ago, I remember I had a huge loss with gold. So I mean, ever since then, I haven't liked gold that much. I really trade gold, but with a lot of precaution, because, gold is very unpredictable than Forex pairs. But, sometimes it's good, right? I think it just needs a little bit of more patience for me to, understand it. But, overall, I believe it's a pair that has very good volume, right? So for those that like volume, pair is the way to go. I mean, gold is the way to go. So price came now into this weekly supply zone, right? I can even drop down to the daily and consider this to be a daily, because this actually correlates with a very nice point of interest on the daily time frame, which is this one right here. So this is like the overall weekly zone, but we could refine to this one and say, okay, this is like the daily, right? It's that daily supply mitigation. So once price comes to my daily time frame, you guys already know I like to wait for 4 hour change of character. That's the best way. We don't have to drop down immediately to lower time frames, M1, and you're trying to catch the tops and bottoms. Let price do its thing, right? Let price show you the confirmations. So right here, I believe I can use the 3 hours time frame. because we just had a nice two breaks of structures right here. Actually, we had a body closure on 2 hours. That's what I was looking at mainly. So price comes into my daily. We can see that we had this high, this low, high, then pull back, reluctancy with this liquidation, boom, break of structure. Price comes back, respects the supply zone, boom, push to the downside. And then now price came into this 4 hour. We can see 2 hour, 4 hours, all the same thing, right? It came to this zone. So what do we do once price comes to our 4 hour supply zone? We want to see the medium time frame. Medium time frame, M15, M20, M30, right? So let me just go to M30, for example. So we can wait for a change of character there. Once price comes to my 4 hour, I want to wait for medium time frame shift, right? I want to see the medium time frame change of character. And we can see we had a perfect change of character right here on the daily, on the medium time frame. So we have this high, we have the swing low, but this was the decisional low that finally took out this previous high right here. You can just see that the break of structure happened right here after price had given us this strong pullback right here. So pullback, boom, break of structure to the upside. Then we had that's when we had the change of character. So we have the whole zone right here. This is like an M30 supply zone. So what I'm waiting for on gold is price to come back up. Once price reaches it, I'm gonna drop to medium time frames such as M3, M2 or M1, and I'm gonna look for my confirmations and sell all the way down, right? So everything is in perfect alignment. Price comes to our daily supply zone. We want to see 4 hour. 4 hour is bearish. Medium time frame just give us a sign of bearish intention. M30 change of character to the downside. Now we're gonna wait for price to come, and then we can sell all the way down, right? So YouTube, I hope you guys enjoyed the outlook. I just hope you guys have an incredible week, man. I hope you guys smash it. We're just about to end the year, so I hope you guys end the year, in blue. And I'm about to drop a very good promo on the lifetime for Black Friday, because I heard a couple people asking if I was gonna drop something for on Black Friday, some sort of discount. So I'm gonna give like a 40% discount on the lifetime mentorship. I can even start right now. Like anyone that decides to if you want to join, feel free. You get a 40% discount on it. But for Black Friday, it's gonna be the same thing, 40% discount. So I hope you guys love the outlook, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Peace.